A very good afternoon to you. You're watching Lunch Prime Time News. Let's take a look at the headlines.
Police Department to come under the Ministry of Defence. European Union says Parliament be allowed to demonstrate its confidence by voting. Vimal Veeravansa sworn in as the Minister of Housing and Social Welfare. Former Secretary of Defence Gotabaya Rajapaksa permitted to travel overseas from the 14th of December to the 14th of January. Sri Lanka Air Force rescues 6 people caught to the current after the dam of Nettagaikulama Vavu broke its bank.
On to those stories in detail now. Vimal Veeravansa has been sworn in as the Minister of Housing and Social Welfare. Vimal Veeravansa was sworn in before President Maithripala Sirisena this morning. Now, as mentioned in our headline, Sri Lanka Police, which is under the Ministry of Law and Order, has been moved under the Ministry of Defence under the new government. According to a Gazette notification announcing the distribution of subjects for respective ministers, notes 17 government bodies including the 3 armed forces, Civil Security Department, National Cadet Corps, Department of Coast Conservation and National Media Centre have been moved under the Ministry of Defence, of which President Maithripala Sirisena is the subject minister. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka, all state banks and associated companies, the Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka have been moved under the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, of which Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa is the subject minister. Under the previous government, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka was vested under the Minister of National Policies and Economic Affairs, and state banks were under the Minister of Public Enterprises Development. Sri Lankan Airlines and Mihin Lanka, which were under the Minister of Public Enterprises under the previous government, now comes under Nimal Siripala de Silva, who is the Minister of Transport and Civil Aviation. On more local news, the delegation of European Union has issued a media release.
The release says that it has been sent out with the agreement of the EU heads of mission as well as the ambassadors of Norway and Switzerland residing in Colombo. The letter reads, the ambassadors of the European Union, France, Germany, Italy, Netherlands, Romania, the High Commissioner of the United Kingdom, as well as the ambassadors of Norway and Switzerland take note of the summoning of Parliament as indicated in the Gazette. We consider it essential that Parliament be allowed to demonstrate its confidence by voting immediately when reconvened in order to resolve the serious uncertainties currently facing the country. It adds that any further delay could damage Sri Lanka's international reputation and deter investors. Respect by all stakeholders for the provisions of the Constitution will be important to maintain the confidence of the Sri Lankan people in democratic governance and the rule of law.
As mentioned in the headlines, former Secretary of Defence Gotabaya Rajapaksa was permitted to travel overseas from the 14th of December to the 14th of January by the Permanent High Court trial at bar today. The request was made by President's Counsel Romesh De Silva, who appeared on behalf of Gotabaya Rajapaksa.
The court ordered for the release of Gotabaya Rajapaksa's impounded passport and ordered to inform the Controller General of Immigration and Emigration to temporarily lift the travel ban imposed on the former Defence Secretary. The Attorney General filed a case against former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa and 6 others at the Special 3-Justice High Court over the misuse of public funds to the tune of 33.9 million rupees from the Sri Lanka Land Reclamation and Development Corporation for the construction of the D.A. Rajapaksa Museum and Memorial. The case will be taken up again on the 27th of November.
Continuing on to more local news, Newsfirst received reports that 3 infants have passed away at the Chilaw General Hospital over the past 10 days. The director of the hospital, Lalit Podalgoda, presented facts relating to these incidents.
The first incident was recorded on the 28th of October when a mother and her newborn daughter died.
My wife had signed for the C-section surgery to take place. They have not done anything. They are now saying the consent was obtained for a normal delivery. This is totally false because my wife told me everything when I visited.
The second death was recorded on the 4th of November. An infant born to Tania Kalhari, a 21-year-old resident of Pahala Attanagane, passed away. Once we came back to the hospital from our house, we were told the baby is not moving and had died 4 days ago inside the mother's womb. Another infant born to Periyan Divadani, a 30-year-old resident of Udappu, had died on the 5th of November.
With regards to the sequence of events, we carried out a detailed investigation. We have sent the report to the Health Ministry. There was an internal wound and around 500 millimeters of blood that alone cannot cause the death. From that time onwards, our staff members monitored everything without any shortcomings. Due to natural reasons, one infant had died inside mother's womb. With regards to the mother who died, her baby did not breathe when he was born, and when we did the post-mortem examination, we found small wounds in the infant's head. This could have happened during the delivery. About the other death, a clinical examination should be carried out. For that, we need the consent of the guardians. They have not provided their consent for the post-mortem examination. As a result, we were not able to carry out the post-mortem examination.
The 6th Peradeniya International Economic Research Symposium was held at the Postgraduate Institute of Humanities and Social Sciences at the University of Peradeniya.
Vice-Chancellor of the University of Peradeniya, Professor Upul B. Disanayake, Professor Nicolae Marinescu of the Faculty of Economic Sciences and Business Administration at Transylvania University of Brasov, Romania, and Vice-Chancellor at South Asia University, New Delhi, Professor Santosh C. Panda, and several other dignitaries attended the symposium. An Islamic religious event was held yesterday in line with the birthday celebrations of the Holy Prophet. The event was held at the Dawatagah Mosque yesterday under the patronage of National United Front leader Azad Saleh. Many Muslim devotees attended the event.
Once again, as mentioned in our headlines, 6 people were rescued when they were caught to the currents after a dam in the Nethagaikulama Vava broke its bank. Police said the villagers have complained about the missing people after the wall of the Vava collapsed yesterday. Police have then confirmed the people have been stranded in the water. According to the Sri Lanka Air Force, 6 officers attached to the Anuradhapura Air Force camp had rescued the 6 people using a Mi-17 helicopter. The Met Department says the low pressure area to the southwest of Sri Lanka is moving away from the island. Therefore, prevailing showery condition in the north, central and eastern provinces is likely to reduce from the 11th of November. Showers will occur at times in most parts of the island. Heavy falls of about 100 millimeters can be expected in some places in the western, southern, Sabaragamuwa, central and Uva provinces. Fairly cold weather can be expected in the northern and north central provinces. Misty conditions may occur at some places in the western, Sabaragamuwa and central provinces during the morning. There may be temporary localized strong winds during thunder showers. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by lightning activity. This was the Met report issued this afternoon. Moving on to more local news, the research carried out by the Department of Geology at the University of Peradeniya on geological feasibility report of the Umaoya project was discussed at a media briefing held at its premises.
We conducted several special researches as soon as there was a water leak from the Umaoya project and presented the report. Currently, the excavations are taking place based on that report. There are so many problems that arose during excavations in the past. However, no proper solutions were implemented. That is the reason why wells dried up and houses had cracks. However, now we know where there can be water leaks and the possible areas where this could happen. We will fix those areas and proceed. There will not be any issues in the future. We cannot complete the construction activities in 2-3 months as expected.
A suspect was arrested at the BIA this morning for the alleged attempt to smuggle a stock of foreign currency to Singapore. The currency was valued at 10.9 million rupees.
The stock was concealed in the suspect's bag and was discovered by the customs officials when searching his bag. According to sources at the BIA, the stock of currency contained 17,000 euros, 5,000 US dollars and 149 Singapore dollars. The suspect was a 58-year-old businessman from Negombo. The customs officials at the BIA are currently conducting further investigations into the incident.
As promised, we have the views expressed by Minister S.P. Disanayake, where he says they have a majority in Parliament. Let's have a listen.
We can see that even the Speaker is worried about the 113. You can bring in a no-confidence motion in Parliament. I think they do not have the patience. We hope to show the strength of the government before the 14th. When you see the changes that will take place in the country in the next few days under the government that was created by Mahinda Rajapaksa, you will see that we have gone beyond 113 and we have more than 120. No, we do not have money. We sent them to obtain blessings of Allah. We sent them with the blessings of the Triple Gem. All of these people will help us.
That's all the news we have for you this afternoon. You can keep abreast of all these stories and more on our website www.newsfirst.lk. I've been Saturanga Porati. Have a good day.